G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Super Class Challenge for the Metal Core Cooler Ultimate Red Zone. So basically, to cut a long story short, there is a challenge or a mission for the Metal Core Cooler Ultimate Red Zone event that requires us to use a superclass unit of each type. So that is a AGL, a tech, a int, a strength, and a physical type unit. All fairly simple stuff, really. It's nothing too crazy in terms of, like, you know, whether it's that complicated a challenge. The real thing that you're going to struggle with, as always, is essentially building the team, and what you're really going to struggle with is finding a int character that can handle the second phase. So the beginning of the fight, or well, the actual event itself, obviously has some pretty interesting connotations, I should say. The first phase you cannot beat. So the first phase is against int metal coolers, and it lasts 3 turns, and you don't really have a choice. Now the good news is the int metal coolers don't hit tremendously hard. The bad news is that even though the int coolers don't hit tremendously hard, they do still have the ability to super attack, and they can actually super multiple times in a turn. So it is something that's quite irritating. You can be caught out quite badly by a bad super, or you can be set up to enter the next phase pretty roughly. So that is something to be aware of. Once you get into the second phase, it's against the physical metal core cooler, and he's one of the hardest bosses in the game. He is immune to attack lowering, defense lowering. He will randomly seal one character at the start of the turn, 60% chance, and he will also raise his attack for 1 turn after he launches his super attack. His super attack hits very hard, and he also hits very hard. As our item, we are going to be using a Whis, and that's generally going to set us up pretty well. Now, in terms of team build, I've gone for a pretty strong one. I am using the AGL Full Power Final Showdown, Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta, the joint one from the Cooler Returns movie. Now, the reason why I've decided to use them is they have a great leader skill, joint forces or movie heroes of 170% HP attack and defense, and 30% extra for those that belong to the Pure Saiyans category. But not only that, but once fully built up, because I'm not going to run you through the passive of the base form units, once fully built up, they will enter their morale boost phase, which gives them 30% damage reduction, 150% attack and defense. They gain an additional attack and defense of 50% and medium chance of performing a crit when performing an ultra super, and they will perform a guaranteed critical hit when activating their active skill or when their key is +4. They also have a additional chance, or a great chance, of firing an additional super attack, which is really solid. So they're going to be very good. They're going to sit in the second slot, them and the friend lead one. Then we also have the pretty awesome Super Saiyan Tech Goku. He's obviously very good. The powerful comeback lead Goku. We've got his revive skill, which is going to help us out a huge amount, which is fantastic. He's got a lot going on. He's guards all attacks, has attacks effective against all types, and an additional defense 59% in the same turn after receiving an attack. Then after he revives, he will revive with 59% HP, and he also has the ability to have a high chance of crits as well, starting from the turn in which his revive has been active. So pretty good stuff. We've also got his active skill, which will help us out because it's an interrupt, so it is effective against Wicked Bloodlines units. So yeah, overall pretty good starting point. You will notice that for example, in this situation, I am intentionally trying to get us to die so that we can get the revive. So you'll notice that obviously I put the Goku and Vegeta in the first slot. The reason why as well was so that they had the chance of getting another attack in, which hopefully would mean when they come back, they would have their morale boost. So that's generally the premise behind this strategy that I did here, why I put them in the first slot. Then alongside all of these units we have, for our final choices. So I doubled up on tech by going with the Super Saiyan God Goku. Obviously just a fantastic choice, realistically speaking, because of his ability to just tank really well, create rainbow orbs and just do a lot. Then I also went for the physical Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta Angel, which obviously can transform into Gogeta, and also brings a whole bunch of healing as well. Then I also have the Strength Vegito. So this unit is a unit that really shines in this fight. So while you've got items, he shines, so it's really important to use items during this phase. And yeah, but definitely going to rely on him for a lot of damage. He's going to be a very good source of damage. You can still keep the AGL units on rotation, but generally for me, while I want to keep Strength Vegeta on rotation for as long as possible. And the reason is he's just a lot better, being able to dish out as much damage as possible. So I want to keep him on rotation. I want to have him do his super attacks. I want him to do his counters. I want to get as much damage out of him while I can before my items run out. So we've got him, we've got the Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta Angel, we've got the the final choice, which is the Int Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. So the Int Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta is obviously probably the most difficult choice here, in a sense that there's a few Int options. Now, there are very few Int options in the game that will be able to stand up to the power of Metal Cooler, especially on the global side of things, because to cut a long story short, global does not have the really top Int unit in the game, Trunks and Vegeta. So it is a little bit more difficult, I would say, for global to complete the super base challenge, because a lot of people on JP will run Bond of Parents and Child and run that Trunks Vegeta lineup. But yeah, for me, I just think, or at least I find that generally speaking, the Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta is probably the unit that's most likely to be able to succeed. So yeah, I use them. The reason being is they do have their evasion, which is obviously quite helpful, and then they also have their they've got their evasion, but then also when they transform, if you get their heal, they actually have damage reduction as well, which is pretty helpful. So yeah, you're gonna see now I'm pushing off the Strength Vegito. Again, the reason being is he just takes a lot of damage, and I'm keeping the Gogeta in the middle slot because he is not getting hit by anything here. So yeah, it's really kind of juggling around these units that can't take a lot of damage. Like physical Gogeta can't take a lot of damage. He's not going to be able to face tank a super. Even with 40% damage reduction, he's still going to get hit super hard by a super attack. It's just not something you can realistically handle too well. So you just honestly need to keep these guys out of harm's way. You need to keep your health up. You need to just try and avoid the damage where possible. Yeah, that's always going to be the best solution. And Vegeta, we're just trying to get him to do as much damage before he goes out as we possibly can, because yeah, he's a great damage dealer. As you can see, without the damage reduction, he tends to take quite a bit, and even with the damage reduction, takes quite a bit. So yeah, but he does dish out. He does definitely dish back out. Like you can see, he's really chunking down the metal core cooler. He's giving him a lot of issues. He's really causing him to kind of push back and take a lot of damage. And then now we have the fortunate ability to use or get the morale boost, and the morale boost helps. It definitely helps quite a bit. Obviously it makes the Goku and Vegeta super duper tanky, especially in the second slot, and we're gonna get both of them, which does help out quite a bit. We're not going to push either of them into the first slot just due to the obviously, or maybe we will, but yeah, basically yeah, pretty much all straightforward. So yeah, obviously their morale boost does help us out quite a bit, and it's going to obviously depend at what state you're in with your items, but yeah, generally speaking, it's relatively comfortable if you have an item active or if they are not being attacked beforehand to place them in the first slot, and we get very lucky with that here. They are quite a powerful unit, especially if they can get their ultra super attack. They are defensively really strong. So yeah, it's quite a successful team. I would say there's obviously a little bit of luck. You don't want the Vegito to get supered. That's obviously something you want to avoid. But yeah, generally speaking, I would say it's a really successful team. It's a team that runs very smoothly, runs nicely. I would say maybe your biggest issue, if you are going to have one, is getting through like 1 or 2 rotations of the physical Gogeta. You kind of want the physical Gogeta and the Int Vegito to transform separately, which is why you float them. But yeah, generally speaking, you do want a good level of control, over the battlefield and over everything. So yeah, but you can see we're doing a great job. Goku did some good damage there. Goku's tanking fine. The Goku and Vegetas do a fantastic job of just controlling everything. Here you can see, obviously, we're in a situation where we don't want the Int Vegeta to get hit at the last phase. Obviously, technically could dodge, but ideally the physical Gogeta also finishes off the the cooler. So yeah, just a difficult, it was a very difficult stage. I would say it was definitely challenging. I think the super class challenge is harder than the extreme class challenge, just based on all the options you have now, terrifying conquerors wise. I think also, extreme has one of the best strength units, if not the best strength unit in the game right now, in the form of the strength final form cooler. So yeah, definitely is pretty notable just how good cooler is. You can see here, by the way, awesome stuff. We almost flopped, basically because Gogeta did an additional, even though my Gogeta is fully built additional. But we get the win anyway off the back of the super attack from the Int Vegito, or Int Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. So yeah, we get the victory, we get the W, and we managed to get some success. But it was definitely challenging. I wouldn't say it was easy in any way, shape or form, but I think overall it was definitely a very, 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 very good fun challenge. And I think the new LR really came in clutch with their powerful leader skill and their performance as well. But that's it from me. Bye.